As you've gathered today from my thumbnail, I'm going to be doing a cake stand, and these are really, really popular. I think they're great. And I'm going to do a little fun one. The kit comes with the 3 silicone molds that you need for the actual cake stand itself. Plus it comes with 1 of these bits that you put through the middle. Now I've ordered some more of these in silver because I think I'm going to make several of these and give them away and do some bits and pieces with them. So I've ordered these. They're really, really quite cheap as well, which is great. I will put the link to everything that I've got here in the description below, so it's easy for you just to click on the link, follow that link and go straight to it. Before I get started, what I shall do is just give these a bit of a clean, make sure they're nice and clean, no dust on them from transport, and then give them a quick spray with mold release to make it much easier for them to come out. So this is how I've decided to set up the cake stands, and I've made these little transfers, and if you want to know how I make these, then check out the video I will list at the end of this video. They're really simple, and they're just made out of resin, so they're great, and you can use them for so many different things. So this is how I'm going to do it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a colour on the base and then put the stickers on the top, but I wanted to check first how I wanted to lay it out so that I can then follow that straight away afterwards. I'll take a photograph of this so I can refer back to it easily once I've poured the resin. Now the colour of resin I'm going to use, I did a little test bit, and thank you Carolyn and Jay, my friends of mine, who advised me on the colour for this, because you know I'm colourblind and I had no clue, and this is the colour they suggested, and I really do think it looks quite pretty. So I did a little tester on it first, because it's actually a mixture of 2 transparent pigments. I love that. Love how it's come out. So what I'm going to do now is get on with pouring these. I don't want to pour them too deep because I need to put these stickers on the top once it's cured, and then a layer of clear on the top of that as well. I've got my resin mixed up now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to pour that in here. And don't forget, I don't want that to go right to the top because I want to put those stickers in. So I'm just putting a bit in. And then if I need to, I will add some more. Just move that around using a plastic palette knife. Be careful with your mould when you're moving stuff around as well. Try not to touch the bottom of your mould, because if you do, then what you'll find is you can leave little marks on the mould which will actually damage the mould and whatever you're casting in it next time. So I always try not to touch the bottom of my mould if I can help it. I use these plastic paint knives to prevent doing any damage to the actual bottom of the mould if it does touch. So there we go. That's that done. I'll give that about 5 minutes. I'll let any bubbles that are going to come up, and then I'll go over it with my long-necked lighter as opposed to a torch, because I don't want to damage this mould. I'll cover it up. I'll take out any bits if there's a few little stray hairs in there, and then I'll just leave this to cure for 24 hours before I do the next stage. Now these have cured, it's time to put the transfers back on. And how I'll do that is I will put a little bit of resin in here, in each one of them. And then I'll allow that to find its level. And then I will put the stickers on top of that, let it cure, and then put the final layer of resin on, and that way it allows you to avoid generating any bubbles or anything, or any bits floating up to the surface. I find this is a much easier way of doing it, and you get much more consistent results without having lots of air bubbles releasing, or with lots of movement around in the actual transfers or stickers themselves. I do this with photographs. To be honest, I do this with everything that I can. I'll give that a couple of minutes before I put the stickers on for any bubbles to come up, and then I'll go over it with the lighter and pop those bubbles. And in the meantime, I'll look at my photograph to check to make sure that I'm getting these stickers or transfers in that I've made. So I've got my photograph there, so I know that I need 5 of the muffins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this middle bit. And I know which way I want them to go up and roughly how far they need to be away. I'm going to put them in like so. Give them a good wiggle round to create a vacuum and to dislodge any bubbles that are underneath them, and then space them out. So I'll get on with this and I'll come back when I've put them all in. These are now ready to be covered up. Once they're covered up, I will leave them again for 24 hours and I'll show you the really important tips and tricks of putting this together so it doesn't damage. Everything's ready now for the very last pour. And as you can see, the majority of those transfers are already covered up and you can't see where you've made them. They just blend in nicely. So I'm just going to put a little bit more resin over here, fill this up, check it for bubbles, and then once it's cured, we'll go into putting the whole thing together, which is really important to follow some clear rules in putting it together so that it's long lasting and there's no problems with it. So this is all finished now. And as you can see, I'm really pleased with how it's come out. It's absolutely come out lovely and clear. It's all nice and solid, which is great. The bigger piece of advice that I would give anybody is once you demold it, it might feel hard, but it can still warp and bend. So my advice would be to leave this alone on a very flat surface, on a silicone mat as well, so it doesn't get damaged, and then cover it up and leave it for about 7 to 10 days. And then it will fully harden. It will go completely hard and it won't bow. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to put this together. And it's really, really easy. I generally start from the bottom. So what I'll do is I'll pop this bottom screw in like so. Then I'll put that one in. The little washer in it. I'll screw a bit on like so. Turn it over and screw that in there. And only do it hand tight. You don't want to over tighten it because the last thing you want to do is to crack your resin at all. Then I'll put the second one on by doing exactly the same thing. And I will probably line that up so Time for Cake is in line with some of the other ones or not in line. I don't really mind. It's got the same design going through. There's just less cakes and less Time for Cakes on it. So again, I'll just pop that one on and hand tighten it. And then I put the top one on like so and screw that top in. So as you can see, it's really, really easy to put together and tighten it up. So this is all finished now, and I'm really pleased with how this has come out. I absolutely love it. It is unique. Every one that you make would be unique. I think they would sell extremely well for anybody who's having a party or just wants one in the house, but also for coffee shops and things like that. These are things that you can customize to however you want to customize them or however the customer wants them customized. The stickers that I use, or the transfers, they blend in lovely into the actual resin itself, so you don't get an edge around them. And if you want to know how to make those transfers or stickers, then check out the video that's coming up at the end of this video, and it will take you straight to that tutorial. It is really easy and it's great fun. I make loads and I use them for loads of different things, including my card making. Don't forget, check out my membership only area. All you have to do is click the join button. It doesn't mean you've joined. It just gives you all the information of all the extra perks and tips and community space that I've got going on that is really starting to grow now. and it really does help support this channel. I appreciate it ever such a lot. Also, if you want to just show your appreciation, there is a buy me a coffee button that you can get to, or the link is in the description of this video below. Please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos, and also the like button, and leave me a comment. I love comments. I might not get to them straight away, but I will always get to them in the end. So leave me a comment. Enjoy your resin. Check out the video that's coming up next. Take care. Bye.